What's up guys, today is not only the first race of the year but also my second race of the year. I am at Otter and I will be doing the gravel race, switching tire and doing the road race. Is that a good idea? Will I regret it? Probably. Stay tuned, looking forward to see how this day goes.
But this day actually started a week before Otter at the Felt HQ in Canada.
What a job!
Come on in.
Yeah, thank you, thank you.
Good to see you. We're here at the New Mobility workshop.
Yep.
For our multiple brands in this House of Brand strategy. So you may spot a few different brands that are not felt here. So we may talk about this a little bit if you like.
We see there's a bike under a blanket. Can you, what is it?
I do have a surprise in it for you, my friend. Come here.
I want to see it. And I have to say, I don't even know the paint job that I'm getting. It's a true surprise.
You'll be pleasantly surprised. It's my personal favorite, I need to admit.
Yes?
So let me reveal to you
Absolutely.
your new weapon of choice for your gravel adventures. Your very own Breed Carbon.
I gotta admit, I was absolutely delighted to see this brand new bike ready to race for the next week.
We call this paint job Limelight.
Limelight.
I've heard Rasta paint job, kind of with the, you know, the fork, some Rasta vibes.
Wow, I'm just keep looking at the bike and I like it more and more. The paint job. It's like the more you look at it, the more you see all the details. All right, so now before heading back home with the brand new bike, we have one more test to do and it's the weight. How much does it weigh? All right, so let's scale it up. And my guess is like 8.5?
8.18.
That's good.
Yes, man.
That's good. It's pretty light for big tires, tubes inside. Gotta put this bike tubeless, but for sure, but wow. We are at the Laguna Seca Raceway. It's a bit of a shame that the road race is not on the racetrack. All right, so we just got to the expo. There's no one here, and today I think it's just supposed to be like 20,000 people, 25 maybe. That's insane. All right, so the course today is basically a mountain bike course. Some people say it would be faster to be on a mountain bike. I went to the Pirelli booth and they were kind enough to hook me up with some fresh new 45 RC gravel tires in Trato. These look good, these look fast. That is so cool to warm up on the racetrack. The stress is definitely building up 10 minutes before the race. Man, it started with like a solid 3-minute climb. It'll be fun. It's all about having fun here and pushing my limits.
2 laps of racing out there on 2, 1. Let's send these riders off with a big round of applause. 100 kilometers of mixed-terrain ride.
And here we were off, and right away, my teammate Jonas just put a hammer down. He wanted to be at first off that section, but then the pack started to ramp up and did indeed catch him. And it was really a fight to the first single track section, starting with right now this very loose sand gravel, and you had to pick the good line, and good thing I scouted this place before, so I think I got a decent line here. It was a fight for this right hand corner where it leads to the first single track section of the day, and you see mountain bikers are there. They're part of the group because that's probably the best bike that you could have for this race. Even though it's a gravel race, even though there was a mountain bike race, some people signed up for the gravel race with mountain bike, and that was indeed a big advantage, especially on the technical parts. And here, as the racetrack was in elevation, we mostly started with a big, fast downhill that literally did not stop. It was very, very loose, and this guy, he just somehow messed up his derailleur. Not too sure what happened here. Looks like a chain drop, as we see here in this little slow-mo. He maybe messed up his derailleur. Too bad. I would never saw the guy again. Here in the descent, like, drafting was so important, and here, little mistake, I let the gap in. Jonas caught me off. I had put on the brakes before I crashed into him. I was a little bit pissed there. but it's all right. I'd rather for him to have the lead in front of me because he's faster. And going to the single track section, 55, 60k an hour, it was so sketchy. And right away, that's where, I mean, I'm not that technical. I'm not coming from mountain bike background, and I really had a hard time to follow the wheels into this section because I'm not fast in technical stuff, and I really start to pay the price of not really knowing how to ride my bike properly. Good thing I followed this guy for this little shortcut down, but that was interesting. And now I'm coming to a very important part of the race, and you see this very tight right-hander hairpin. Jonas took it, and we're gonna see later in this video because some people did not go right and they go left, and that impacted the winner of the race. Stay tuned for that. But after this first section, I may have gave too much energy, and I blown out. This part was very rough for me. This climb, I could not follow the wheels. As you see, the guys just passed me. They're already on top of this super steep climb, and I was so out of energy. I took the wrong line here, and look at this. Look how I'm going sideways. I try to keep on, but I had to be on the right-hand side of the trail, not the left. And unfortunately, I had to dismount, and I pretty much lose all the advantage that I built up from a top 10. Now, riders just passed me because I just cannot get back on the bike. Probably lost like 6-7 position just off this climb. I was very mad about myself not being able to ride it up, taking a good line, but form again with another group, follow the wheels, not work too much at the front, just make sure that I stay in the draft because it was fast, and until we got to our first, let's say, bigger climb, and unfortunately I just could not hold any power. Was it because of the traveling, the lack of training? I don't know. But starting from there, I mostly rode alone for the rest of the day, and you see how tough this is. This is sand, it's loose rocks, it's turning constantly, and it was very challenging. You see that there was a lot of rain in the last few weeks that definitely damaged the track, so it make it so difficult on a gravel bike to just go up and down and left and right these twisty roads. You see there from the point of view, there was mostly single track, and like gravel like this open road, it was barely there. And as soon as like you finish a nice section, you were turning into this single track again, and bumpy and rocks and not fun. Downhill were mostly paved. Feed zone was great, and then I had something to say.
All right, we just passed the feed zone, and now I'm destroyed. This thing is hard. I love gravel racing, but not when it's that difficult.
And then we went to another single track section, and the good thing at least is I had a viral video from this part. So let's listen up to this video that went to 1.1 million views on Instagram.
Tabarnak, calice. Ouch. Pourquoi on fait ça? Pourquoi on fait ça? Tabarnak. C'est quoi l'hostie d'idée? Calice. C'est quoi l'idée? Pourquoi on fait ça? Tabarnak! Ok, c'est bon. On est parti. Holy shit, this mountain bike sector was so rough, technical, bumpy. I'm surprised I'm still on the bike.
For those who did not understood well, I was swearing in French. I was asking myself, why are we doing this? Why are we doing that? This is so stupid. What is this? Here I caught this little wild animal. Then more single track, more downhill, more difficulties, and then up to the last final big climb. I finally catch up someone. I haven't seen someone in a while. But yeah, power was low. I was tired. I don't feel like this should have been called a gravel race. This should just have been a mountain bike race at that point. But going up to the top of the climb here, at least we had some very nice cheering music group playing. It was nice to hear them from far away. And then it was the final long descent back to the start line for a second lap. And at this point, that's where I just asked myself, should I really go again for another lap? Like, do I put myself into this pain of going again through a 50 kilometer or 60 kilometer of very uncomfortable, not fun gravel course, and yeah, decided to tell the commissioner that I was not doing it yet.
I'm not gonna do 2 laps. All right, race is done. Time to get back to the felt tent. This is what the bikes look like after 1 full lap of the gravel course. One thing I think I would have changed is even bigger tires. 45, I mean, I still have plenty of room here. I should have put mountain bike 2.2 tires. So now time to clean the bike, change the tires, and get ready for the next race. Jonas, you did the whole race. How was it? Give us the breakdown, man. The question is, did you win?
Man, that was a tough one. Yeah, just after the first single track, I was just behind the first 4 riders.
Yeah.
And then we had a really tight turn, and I knew that I would catch them, you know, when coming into the gravel section. But then I didn't see them. So I think they continue further on the trail, like on the other side of them. So I was just, you know, going as fast as I could to try to catch them, but
You never catch them.
I couldn't see them, you know, so I know they did the wrong turn. So for me, it was just finding my own pace, going as hard as I could, trying to enjoy the trails, but that was a tough one, and the heat.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I loved it. It was super cool, and I mean the bike, it was great.
Cool. So we don't know yet exactly if they are disqualified, but we think they are, right?
Yeah, D-Place were disqualified. I mean, they were strong riders, so I feel bad for them. But you know, if you don't know where to go,
it's too bad. It's part of the race. Know the track. I have it on your GPS. All right, guys. So I am now at the Redshift booth. There's something I need to change in my stem. So let's meet the owner, Eric.
Eric from Redshift.
What can we do here today? So
Yeah.
I've just done the gravel race on the medium or the standard bushing inside of it, but can you first explain a bit more about?
You were riding the suspension stem today, and this is a compliant front end element that allows you to, you know, tackle rougher terrain and, you know, save some fatigue during riding. You know, long distance, short distance, doesn't matter.
I'm going on a road race this afternoon, so I felt maybe it's a little bit soft for road riding. So what can we do here?
Yeah, so let's stiffen it up.
All right, so the handlebar is off, and here, as you see, the red and blue bushings.
So ultimately, like, every one of these is slightly stiffer than the other ones, and when you put them together in different combinations, you can get, you know, progressively stiffer or softer on the stem.
It does feel stiffer, right?
Yeah, no, it's definitely nice and tightened up there. I think it's going to be really good for these tires. So.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you, Eric, for the products, and can't wait to take this out on the road.
Yeah, thank you, man. Good luck in the race today.
All right, 10 minutes till the start. Getting excited. Let's see if I can hang it through that 3-minute climb right off the start.
That are a little bit different, including your 3-mile. 3, 2, 1, and the me.
So here's the start of the road race, and you see in front of me in blue, that's EJ from Norcal Cycling 2. So I'm super stoked to be racing against EJ. This is the fastest growing rookie in the world. He's getting super fit, and it's nice to follow his journey on the bike. And now it's neutralized until the first climb, and this is a B field, and I have to say here, I could not do the A field because first, it was at the same time as the road race, and second, I already have 2 or 3 hours in the legs today in this very bad gravel course, so I was totally fine going to the B field here, and still there was some good and heavy hitters. So started off with this big climb that we had to do 5 times throughout the race. I was a little bit scared coming into the start of the race, knowing would I be fine up this climb right away, and turns out I was. So here made my way to the top at the front of the field, and here are the two dudes in white at the front are pacing, and which is find it very funny because they're pacing, they want to go fast, they want to drop people, but they leave us the perfect shelter from the crosswind. They're riding at the left side of the road, but they should have been at the right side of the road, so we could all have been into the gutter. Now descents were always a little bit sketchy. I don't know, definitely not, I'd say, the level of Senior 1 or Cat 1 back home in terms of descent and handling skills, but I was navigating myself just right, and turns out the field was just fun. Again, going up to that second lap, the second big climb again, and pace ramped up a little bit more against this time. Some people really want to put the hammer down, make sure that the pace was fast, so it was not easy, and find myself at the top of the climb again with the front of the group, and very good position, feeling good. I'm eating everything I need, feeling well, and then I said, hey, this started to be a little bit boring. Let's make this fun. So I go to the front. I keep going on my momentum, and before this was before the last big descent. It was this 1.5 minute kicker of climbing, and I say, hey, I'm feeling so good. Let's put the nail down here. So I get out of the saddle, up front first of the corner, so I can really push hard. Unfortunately, no power, but I don't know, surely above 500 watts for a full minute here. Just trying to string out the field. And you see in my shadow, I keep looking backwards because I don't want to go too hard that I just can go away from the group. So I want to go hard, but I want some guys to actually stay on my wheel, which was the case. At this point, it was super string out. I just flick the wet elbow and try to see if I can make a little separation with maybe like 3, 4, 5 guys. That would be ideal. And here, that's exactly what happened. I just made my way with them, but with the long descents coming up, that was definitely not a good idea because yeah, people caught up, and now I just burned a huge match. I thought I was feeling good, but turns out I was not. This took way too much energy. This third climb of the day, like I barely made it to the top. You see here, I'm just sliding back, at least so I knew I still have some people behind, but I should have stayed on the first guy's wheels because it took me another match to close this gap. So fortunately here I had this guy who went in front of me here and decided to close the gap for me. So again, he sheltered me. He worked pretty hard to close this 5 meter gap that, like, it seems it took a long time for him to go. This was the descent. The group formed back up together again, and now like every single kicker, like I was in the red zone. I never recovered from that attack. Even when the field slowed down, it took me so much energy to just stay with it, and the inevitable happened. Cramps showed up, and I'm literally getting dropped where I could have just do 220 watts and be fine, but at this point I could not.
That's it. That's the end. Cramp got me. I just mean my body's tired.
But then I went to finish the race by myself. I went back up this climb. I got caught by some masters where I thought, oh, great, let's have a little sweet ride, finish the day with them. And then at some point, the motorbike come next to me and say, you cannot drive these guys, otherwise we have to disqualify you. So I was like, oh, okay, let me just like go at their speed that they're going, but by myself, like 10 meters behind. They're pulling turns, and I literally stay with them for a full lap, like 20 minutes or more, until like I decide to go and caught some other guys, and then we pretty much raced to the top of the finish line. Unfortunately, no footage there. Yeah,
Everyone's gone. The day's over. All right, guys. So thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this, though, please leave a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already. My name is Charles, and I will see you guys on the road or into the next video.